If you're interested in getting your replays analyzed, please read my pinned comment below. Thank you and enjoy the video. Try not to autopilot flip for mid-boost like this, just wait and assess the situation a little bit. What do I mean? Well, after kickoff, just linger around pads just to see who's going to win the second ball. Once you see that it's clearly the opponent who will win it, then you can speed flip through pads to close down the space and potentially clear the ball. Example. Here, we assess the situation and notice that the opponent will get to the ball first, so we path pads and manage to clear the ball and follow it. Good positioning. I understand why you messed up the open net since the ball did come at you unexpectedly, but one thing you should try and get into your muscle memory is to single jump and shoot. Champs seem to have this habit to always aerial with the intention of air dribbling, air roll shot, double tap, etc. when the ball is mid-height. You'll be surprised that you can reach the ball that's mid-height with a single jump boost, leaving you another jump to smash the ball hard on net. Example. So here we just take a single jump boost and flip a shot on net. Try to grab one or two more pads as you watch the play. Great touch and pass. Alright, this might be a bit advanced for Champ 2, I'm not sure, but I'll mention it regardless. This isn't the best defense position that you took here. Grabbing the boost was needed and fine, but turning around on the ground wasn't. Why? Well, we both know the ball is going to bounce at medium height off the wall, right? And we know there's an opponent that was lining up to take a shot too, right? This means that if you stay grounded and the opponent takes a shot, it's very likely going to be a high shot, and being grounded makes saving it very difficult. So what do we do instead? We grab boost and immediately jump high to the wall and drive along the wall. This way we position ourselves at the same height as the ball, and if they shoot, we have a much greater chance of saving it. Example. So we jump on the wall and stay level with the ball's height, which gives us an easier time to potentially save the shot. Whenever it's a corner kickoff like this, you need to speed flip much earlier so you can land and get another chance to flip into the ball again. You can't afford to push up and then back away to let the opponent take a shot on net from this close to net. It becomes a very difficult shot to save if they shoot properly, which they can most of the time in Champ 2. Here, you just needed to jump and block the shot head on, and it could result in an open net for your mate if you can get a good 50 since we know their first man is out of the play somewhere in your net. Rotating behind your mate isn't too bad, but it might have been a bit more proactive if you push further forward knowing that your mate has space, boost, and time on the ball. Example. We immediately push forward to give mate an option since we know he has full possession. You needed to close down the space between you and the opponent here. It does look like he could boom, but you'll see that the boom drops from the ceiling sharply and they break a little too. It might be difficult to see all of this quickly, so giving space makes sense, but it can be dangerous. Good cheat. good control and bounce dribbles. Okay, you can't fake challenges in a way where you position to leave your net open. You need to read the bounce off the wall so that when you turn, you can insta challenge, or you simply just shadow until your mate has boost. Nice patience in the corner and flick. You just needed to drive a bit further forward and then take a shot if you'd like. That way it gets more height and power as you hit underneath it. The problem was that you jumped a bit too early, so you connect head on with the ball. So there was only forward momentum. Example. So here we jump slightly later and get a stronger shot on net. Although you score this, going for this shot was quite risky. I don't think champs will have this defensive awareness, so maybe it might not matter too much, but one of the opponents could have played the ball and got it past you. Example. Opponent POV. Here, the opponent could have cut in and cleared the ball before you had a chance to shoot. Quick general rule to follow. Whenever two opponents are back, try not to pass to your mate. The problem with passing when there's two back is that the first man can easily push up on the space to where you want to pass. And if they get a 50, then you're still not back and their second man can take the ball and potentially score. Passing in a 2v1 situation is great though. Good that you collect pads and don't leave the play. Good clear. Okay, this is a habit I think you have. Whenever an opponent hits the ball on the wall, you turn away, which isn't necessarily bad, but sometimes it's a free ball and you don't fully take the opportunity. Here, you're a bit fortunate that the second man backs away because he also thinks you're going for the ball. But if he didn't, or if he notices you always turn away, then he'll collect the ball and potentially punish you. Backing away here makes sense since you were scared of the shot on net. However, what if he doesn't boom, but instead controls it and dribbles towards you? Now it becomes a big problem with the big difference in space, right? The solution is learning where the safe zone is. I'm not sure the best way to teach this, but it's basically the zone where you know that if the opponent takes a shot, you'll always be able to reach it to make a save. The best way to learn this is from training packs such as shadow saves or just any kind of saving pack. The quicker you learn this, the better you'll become at closing down the space and also covering the shot. This is something that I've noticed champs do a lot in situations like these. They tend to pop the ball and jump at the same time, but you can just take a touch first and then you can jump and make a play. Example. Here we take a touch first and then we can follow up on the aerial. Decent pass attempt. This was risky. If the opponent hadn't side flipped, I believe they would have beaten you to the ball and scored. Usually in those situations with two opponents back, I refrain from going because it's super unlikely to score compared to getting hard countered, especially with mate landing with no boost to get back. But others might disagree with me on this one. You tend to show good patience and control in the corner, which is really good. Many players just hit the ball anywhere in the corner. Unfortunate read, but it was a good decision to go for it quickly to stop it from bouncing back. Decent clear. Okay, a couple of things we did wrong here. First of all, you could have beaten the opponent to the ball in the air pretty easily, but you hesitated and wasn't aware of his position, so you didn't go. But this wasn't too bad. The worst mistake is what happens after. The ball hits the corner and we position really badly by power sliding to try and meet the ball. You have to follow the ball's path and height in order to track it accordingly. Similar to the previous example about jumping to the wall is also applied here. Example. So we jump on the wall to keep level height and we can make it clear on the ball without it being too awkward. Good control, but you should have hit it to the wall and gone for an aerial play since that's where the space is. Smart decision not to go for boost, but to play the ball. You got a good beat because of that. Well done. No point fake challenging here. You're losing with 12 seconds to go. Just be aggressive and try to force something to happen. All right, so final considerations, 3 points that we have here. Point number one is try not to pass to mate when two opponents are back. This one is quite self-explanatory. Basically, when there are two opponents back and you try to pass it, the first opponent can try, well, the first man can try and cover the space where the pass is. So it becomes very difficult to do so. Try and always beat the first man. And then when it's a 2v1 situation, you can try and pass. Number two is be confident in wall boundaries and awareness. Well, the awareness that the opponent cannot reach it before you. So this is the situations where like the opponent is flipping into the ball, it's about to hit the wall, and then we should be able to kind of recognize that if the opponent can get another touch or if they cannot. If we know that they cannot, then we can kind of pounce on that ball and kind of beat them to the ball, which effectively will beat them or keep them out of the play, which is really good. And number three, which is probably a bit advanced, is to learn to get level height with the ball on the wall to make saves easier. So this is where the ones where they hit the ball to the corner and then you need to kind of like turn to cover net. Sometimes if you can kind of just jump on the wall, be level height with the ball, then it can sometimes be easier to, make potential saves. So I think these are the three uh, key points for you to work on, hopefully. Thank you for watching the videos as always, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.